What's up, homies? I'm just reading this cool little piece they put about me in the paper. Captain Planet is in battle to save Earth. Man, what a catchy title. But hey, before we get back to saving the planet, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about that Passionflower tea. So what I'm referring to is the tea that I make with passionflower, skullcap, and valerian root. And it's the tea that I use to help me get off prescription pain opiates. I had spent well over a decade of my life addicted to pain pills. So I've been trying to help kind of spread that word because I'm aware that it can help people. First, I just wanted to talk about like how you can make some tea. Looks like my Uncle Thor's outside visiting. You don't have to have some cool fancy cast iron one like this. I like this bad boy because it's kind of new age as far as it's got this handy little screen that fits right in it. Let's say I don't have this. Let's say all I have is just a coffee maker. I could sit there and put the herbs that I need. So I've got about a gram of passionflower, a gram of skullcap, and a half a gram of valerian root. These are all dry weight amounts. You can take more than that. However, I encourage everyone to start light and work their way up and see what their body needs. Because if you make too much, it'll put you out as far as make you go night-night. Not in a bad way, like a good night's sleep. But I love this little contraption right here for the little cast iron pot. But this is something I wanted to show you guys as well. I just purchased this last night at a cool little store on some island that I was at. I don't even remember where it was at. But all this is a little strainer piece. So I don't have a coffee mug, I guess, right in front of me. But you can imagine a coffee mug in my hand. All I would do is put the plants in here. So here's my plant materials. Put them all in there. See, I even got some vines and stuff hanging out on that. Like, you ain't got to get it all perfect and stuff. It's about the medicine inside, not the looks. So I would take my coffee mug and with hot water in it, hot boiling water, and just simply set that inside. And you can kind of see through that a little bit. You can see in the back. Now you can see through it a little bit because there's little tiny holes in this. So what most people do not know though, as far as making medicinal teas, is that most of the medicine from the plants actually escape in oils through evaporation. So you stop that by putting on a lid. This little guy came with this little screener. So I would put this in my coffee mug, right, of hot boiling water, and then simply put the lid over it. Now what the lid does is it captures all that evaporation, sends it back down, because in that evaporation are some very strong medicines in the form of those oils. Catches to the lid and falls right back in. When you're ready to drink, sit there and take that bad boy off, and then boom, you put that on there until you're ready to clean it later and drink your coffee, or your tea, I mean. Talking backwards today. I just got done with like another news interview. It's like I think I've been on the news, the paper, or a magazine, or the radio like 11 times in a week now. Which, hey, that's great. We're getting the word out there that there are ways that people can help. I just wanted to talk a little bit about as far as how you prepare that. You can buy passionflower, you can buy skullcap, you can buy valerian root, and make it yourself. As far as I've got some passionflower leaves that I've harvested that are in here. Got some valerian root. Got some skullcap. So all I'm sitting there doing is putting in. I don't really measure grams. I bought a scale just so you guys could learn. Like, as far as I learned by using my eyes. I was taught these things. I wasn't just, reading a book. But it's hard to, you grab about that much, but remember I've got big hands. It's way easier to just make sure it's safe. So I bought a little measuring device that I could weigh out the grams, just like I used to use one of them things back in high school. It's pretty neat. But anywho's, I remembered how to use it. Weighed out gram of passionflower, gram of skullcap, and a half gram of valerian root. The valerian root is really the one that you kind of want to watch for, as far as you don't want to be consuming insanely high amounts of valerian root on a regular basis. You know, remember, moderation in everything, you know, and I'm talking to myself when I say that, like, because I want another cup of coffee. Things can be good, you know, but moderation. For example, people, you know, give their children Flintstone vitamins, right? This is good. When I was a kid, Mom gave me a Flintstone vitamin, and I'd eat it, and it's good for me. It's vitamins. But I was that fat kid that when Flintstone gummies came out, I accidentally like ate half a bottle, and I realized moderation is everything. I took something that was good for me and literally poisoned myself by eating so much of them. I just was a fat kid that was a sucker for gummy bears. I knew they were Flintstone gummies, but I mean, how bad could it really hurt? They do taste like candy, right? Guys, feel free to leave some comments. I'll figure out how to even read them on YouTube. But I just wanted to kind of give another little example there, because I saw yesterday's video, quite a bit of people had watched that compared to some of the other videos. So I just kind of wanted to talk about, you know, how exactly I was making those things. You don't have to have a fancy teapot. You don't have to have one of these fancy little contraptions here. I could sit there and make that same tea in my coffee pot. I put the water in the coffee pot just like you'd normally do. Put a coffee filter in the coffee pot like you'd normally do. And instead of filling that filter full of coffee, fill it with your gram of passion flower, a gram of skullcap, and half a gram of valerian root. Bada boom, bada bing. I would recommend, though, that you figure out a way, even if it's just getting a little twisty tie or even just gently laying it down. I would let those plants soak in that hot water more than just what it would trickle through for the coffee. You know, as far as I would do it like that, the way I used to do it when I only had a coffee pot, I would do it that way, and then I would take the filter and the plants out of the coffee pot, have my little coffee pot there, and I would sit there and just rest the filter in there so it could soak longer. You know, you could simply just use a strainer and just put the strainer in and pour the water, the tea, into the cup and strain it that way. Multiple ways of doing this, guys. It's not hard at all. They even make like these cool new hydro flask looking tea bottles that I seen last night at that store, where you could, like, for people on the go that drink teas and stuff, they could sit there and put their plant material in the cap of this thing and then pour in their boiling water, and then as they're driving, set it upside down to steep. And then you set it right back side up after you want it to stop steeping. Like, let's say you're working with a plant where you don't want it to steep more than 5 minutes because it might give you the poopies if you do. You just simply turn that thing upside down, and then the plants aren't steeping in the water anymore. Pop open the cap and drink it. I didn't get one because, I mean, I'm usually not like a tea drinker on the road. As far as, you know, when I need my stuff, I have my ways. I've got a cool little bushcraft stove that fits into a little wax canvas bag about that thin, you know, so I'm that guy that can just pull over and start a fire if I want to. But anyways, I hope this video helps you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks, everyone. Peace.